If you take a look at the state, the feedstocks that are available, not necessarily for cellulosic ethanol, but for biomass projects in general. It could be a heat power type scenario. The low-hanging fruit that we've seen from AURI's perspective in working with projects is northwestern Minnesota. If you take a look at the perennial ryegrass industry, the Kentucky bluegrass industry, they actually have waste products that are true waste that can be utilized, and there are projects moving forward to utilize those products. Classic example, which I will let Andy talk about, with Joel and the university here, with the state. It was a nice project working with corn growers and a multitude of entities to do the corn cob demonstration. Being able to move out 2 prototype units to collect cobs for the use of displacing natural gas. And with that, I'll actually hand it over to the people that do the work.
Okay, I'm not sure exactly where to take this, but sourcing biomass can be complicated. There's a lot of aspects related to sourcing biomass. And regarding the cob collection demonstration, it was an excellent demonstration. It was a good use of resources because it really started that grassroots. Yeah, we can collect cobs. We brought in a couple of farmers. We had enough incentive that the risk was low to them, and they gave it a whirl. And they found that they could collect cobs. They got a sense of what the impact of their operation is. Just what they were contending with in trying to pull out cobs and what the value might be. And then the year following that, we expanded that fivefold at CVEC to collect more cobs for our gasifier, and we got more farmers in and a larger volume from each farmer. And the equipment supplier came in, and they had, they compromised to make it easy for farmers to get their hands on the equipment. So the cob demo was a great illustration of how you can begin kind of at a grassroots level to get some inertia, get some momentum going on this biomass supply and get it growing and get a reality check and some experience with it. And I thought it was very successful. And unfortunately, natural gas is so cheap right now, we're not running our gasifier. We're interested in being green, but we're not going to lose money to do it. And however, we are looking at using up our cobs that's coming through the system. And I don't think we all as Americans want to pay more for our energy. I don't think we as Americans understand how cheap our energy is when you compare it to Europe. If you want to incentivize the use of alternative forms of fuel, well, as much as maybe we don't want it, or maybe we do want it, carbon legislation, carbon tax, will really change our dynamic, our economics regarding biofuels, use of biomass, how much can you afford to pay for biomass, what people are interested in growing and looking at biomass. If a farmer can make money on it because fuel is so expensive, they might look at it. If the neighbor has shown that they can do it successfully without crashing their whole operation, well, okay, maybe I'll try it on a small, using some used equipment, kind of get my feet on the ground. If I don't like it, I won't do it anymore kind of basis. BCAP helped a lot with that. BCAP was the driver in our second year cob collection demo and really lowered the risk for everybody to kind of grow this thing bigger. And so BCAP was doing its thing when it was up and running. Joe?
Well, as far as the corn cob harvest, I thought that was a great opportunity from the sustainability point of view, which is one of the things that I'm really interested in. It was taking a nice amount of material off the landscape without risking removing too much, and I have to say this for Don, carbon from the soil. One of the things that I think is important to think about in new facilities, and it's part of the technical challenge that I see ahead, is that we can't get wrapped up in facilities that can only deal with one or two feedstocks. We need facilities that can handle a wide variety. And I'll give our facility as an example. In the last 2 years, we have had the most rain in the fall that I think we've ever had. And our corn stover harvests have just been awful. Luckily, we haven't been running at full operation yet. We're still in our testing and startup mode. But had we been at full operation, we would have been very hugely challenged to get enough biomass from this area if we were to depend just on corn stover. And so the idea of lots of different feedstocks out there is probably a good thing, because we may not have gotten corn stover out, but we may have been able to get switchgrass out. The ground would have been a little bit different, and we could have maybe harvested that. It looks like Mike has got somebody there.
Could I just, I'm sorry, I know you've been raising your hand for quite a while, but in this question of feedstocks and what people are working on, we've got a company here, Easy Energy Systems, that, is doing a lot of very interesting stuff. And I think they at least need to be acknowledged that their work with waste paper and some other products